My name is Elena Vance. I am 46 years old. I am a stay-at-home mother. I have been a stay-at-home mother for 22 years. I have raised 3 children. I have cooked thousands of meals. I have cleaned countless rooms. I have driven endless carpools. I have been the backbone of my family, the silent engine that keeps everything running. I have been the one who remembers birthdays, who schedules doctor's appointments, who stays up late when the children are sick, who wakes up early to make breakfast and pack lunches. But I have never been the center of attention. I have never been the one in the spotlight. I have never been the one that people notice when they walk into a room. I have always been the one in the background, the one who supports, the one who sacrifices, the one who is taken for granted. My husband, Gregory, made sure of that. Gregory is 52 years old. He is a senior executive at a large financial firm. He is successful. He is respected. He is admired by his colleagues and his clients. He is everything I am not. He is confident. He is charismatic. He is commanding. He walks into a room and everyone turns to look at him. He is the center of attention and he loves every moment of it. He is also deeply ashamed of me. I don't know when it started. I don't know when I became an embarrassment to him. I don't know when he stopped seeing me as his partner and started seeing me as a liability. But I know that it happened. I know that somewhere along the way I became the thing he wanted to hide, the thing he wanted to forget, the thing he wanted to erase. It started with small things. He stopped introducing me at company events. He stopped bringing me to dinner parties. He stopped including me in his social life. He would go to events alone, and when people asked about me, he would say I was busy with the children or not feeling well or visiting family. He would make excuses for my absence because the truth was that he didn't want me there. Then it became bigger things. He stopped taking me to his office parties. He stopped inviting me to his work dinners. He stopped acknowledging that I existed when his colleagues were around. He would walk past me in the hallway pretending not to see me. He would introduce me to strangers as my wife without any warmth or affection. He would talk about his life as if I wasn't part of it. I told myself he was just busy. I told myself he was just stressed. I told myself 1,000 lies because the truth was too painful to face. The truth was that he was ashamed of me, ashamed of my clothes, ashamed of my hair, ashamed of my job, or rather my lack of one, ashamed of my social status, ashamed of everything I was. The truth was that he had married a woman he no longer wanted to be seen with. The breaking point came on a Friday evening in October. Gregory came home from work with news. His company was hosting a gala, a black tie event, a celebration of their annual achievements. All the executives would be there. All the important clients would be there. All the people who mattered would be there. The CEO would be there. The board members would be there. The most powerful people in the industry would be there. "I need you to come with me," he said. I was stunned. I had not been to a work event in years. I had not been invited in years. I had been excluded for so long that I had stopped expecting to be included. I had accepted my invisibility. I had made peace with my exclusion. "Really?" I asked. "You want me to come?" He looked at me. He looked at my clothes. He looked at my hair. He looked at my face. He looked at me like I was something he was trying to evaluate, like I was a product he was considering purchasing, like I was an investment he was trying to assess. "Yes," he said, "but you need to look the part, you need to dress appropriately, you need to act appropriately, you need to be presentable." Presentable, that was the word he used, presentable. I felt something inside me twist, something that had been twisted before, something that was tired of being twisted. "Presentable," I repeated. "You know what I mean, Elena. You need to wear something nice, something expensive, something that doesn't look like you bought it at a discount store. You need to do your hair, you need to wear makeup, you need to look like you belong." I looked at myself in the mirror. I was wearing a simple blouse and a pair of slacks. My hair was pulled back in a ponytail. I wasn't wearing makeup. I wasn't dressed up. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. "I know how to dress for an event, Gregory," I said. "I know how to behave at a party. I'm not an idiot." He sighed. It was a heavy sigh, the kind of sigh that suggested he was dealing with something burdensome. "I know you're not an idiot, but these people are different. They're important. They're powerful. They judge people. They judge everything. I need you to make a good impression. I need you to not embarrass me." The word hung in the air, embarrass. He had said it before. He had said it many times. But hearing it again in that moment, it felt like a knife in my chest. "Embarrass you," I said. My voice was quiet. I was trying to keep it steady. "You know what I mean, Elena. You're not like them. You don't fit in, you don't understand their world, you've been out of the workforce for 22 years, you don't know how to talk to these people, you don't know how to behave around them, I need you to just be quiet, smile, nod, don't say anything controversial, don't tell anyone you stay at home, don't tell anyone you haven't worked in years, don't tell anyone you're just a housewife. Just a housewife. Those words broke something inside me, something that had been cracking for years, something that had been slowly crumbling under the weight of his disregard. I'm not just anything, I said, my voice was shaking. I'm your wife, I'm the mother of your children, I'm the one who has supported you for 25 years, I'm the one who gave up her career so you could have yours, I'm the one who sacrificed everything so you could have everything, and you're telling me to be quiet and not embarrass you. I'm telling you to be careful, he said. I'm telling you to think before you speak, I'm telling you to be aware of your surroundings, I'm telling you to not make me look bad, I'm telling you to not ruin this for me. I didn't say anything, I just nodded, I just agreed, I just swallowed my pride and my pain and my anger. I had been doing it for so long that it had become second nature. I had been swallowing my feelings for so long that I had forgotten how to express them. Fine, I said, I'll be quiet, I'll smile, I'll nod, I won't embarrass you, I'll be the perfect invisible wife you want me to be. He smiled, he patted my head like I was a dog. Good, I knew you would understand, I knew you would do the right thing. The gala was held at a grand hotel in the city. The ballroom was enormous. Crystal chandeliers, marble floors, white tablecloths, gold-rimmed glasses. It was the kind of place I had never felt comfortable in. The kind of place I had never belonged. The kind of place that made me feel small and insignificant. I wore a dress that Gregory had picked out for me. It was expensive. It was elegant. It was not my style. It was his style. It was the kind of dress that would make him look good. The kind of dress that would make me disappear. The kind of dress that would make people notice him, not me. I walked into the ballroom on his arm. I smiled, I nodded, I was quiet. I did exactly what he told me to do. I was the perfect invisible wife. I was the accessory he wanted me to be. I was nothing more than a decoration on his arm. The night was interminable. Endless small talk, endless introductions, endless people who looked through me like I wasn't there. Gregory introduced me to his colleagues, he introduced me to his clients, he introduced me to everyone who mattered, everyone who was important. This is my wife Alina, he would say. And then he would quickly move on to something else, something more important, something more interesting, something that didn't involve me. I smiled, I nodded, I was quiet, I did exactly what he told me to do. I was the perfect invisible wife, I was nothing, I was no one. I was the woman in the corner that no one noticed. Then I saw him. A man across the room, tall, distinguished, silver hair, kind eyes, he was looking at me, he was staring at me, he was walking toward me, he was walking with purpose, with determination, like he was on a mission. I didn't recognize him, I had never seen him before, but he was looking at me like he knew me, like he had been waiting for me, like he had been searching for me. He walked up to us, he ignored Gregory completely. He looked at me with eyes that were full of recognition, full of surprise, full of emotion. He looked at me like I was the most important person in the room. Alina, he said, Alina Vance. I stared at him, I searched my memory, I couldn't place him, I didn't know who he was. Yes, I said. I can't believe it, I can't believe I found you. I've been searching for you for 20 years. Gregory was stunned, he looked at me. He looked at the man, he looked confused, he looked angry, he looked like he had just been blindsided. What are you talking about? Gregory said. What do you mean you've been searching for her? The man turned to Gregory, he smiled. It was a kind smile, a gentle smile, a smile that held no judgment. Your wife was my teacher, he said. 20 years ago, she was my high school English teacher. She changed my life. She saved my life. I've been trying to find her ever since. The world stopped. I stared at the man, I searched my memory, I searched my past. I went back to the years before I became invisible, the years before I became a wife and a mother, the years when I was someone, the years when I mattered. And then I remembered a shy, awkward boy in my junior English class. I remembered a student who struggled, a student who was bullied, a student who was lost, a student who wrote beautiful poetry that he was too afraid to share, a student who sat in the back of the room trying to disappear, a student who was invisible in the way that I had become invisible. I remembered a boy named Samuel Harrison. You were Samuel, I said. You were the boy who used to sit in the back of the class, the one who used to write poetry, the one who used to hide in the library, the one who never spoke, the one who was always alone. His eyes lit up. They sparkled with joy, with recognition, with gratitude. You remember me, you actually remember me. Of course I remember you. You were one of my most talented students. You had so much potential, so much promise, so much creativity. I always wondered what happened to you. I always hoped you were okay. I was lost, he said. I was so lost, I was bullied, I was broken, I was ready to give up, I was ready to end it all. Every day was a struggle, every day was a battle, every day was a fight to survive. But you saved me, you saw me, you believed in me, you told me I could be anything I wanted to be, you told me I had a gift, you told me I mattered. I remembered the poems, I remembered the words he had written, words that were full of pain and hope and beauty, words that had moved me to tears. I remember the poetry, I said. I remember the poems you wrote, they were beautiful, they were heartbreaking, they were full of so much pain and so much hope. I kept some of them, I kept them in a box, I still have them. Those poems saved my life, he said. Writing them saved my life. Knowing that someone believed in me saved my life. Knowing that someone saw me saved my life. You saved my life, Elena. You saved me, I owe everything to you. Gregory was standing beside me. His face was pale, his mouth was open, he had no idea what to say. He had no idea how to process this. He had no idea that his invisible wife had been someone's lifeline, someone's savior, someone's hero. I don't understand, Gregory said. You're a CEO, you're the CEO of this company. Samuel turned to Gregory. His voice was calm, steady. Yes, I am the CEO of Harrison Financial. I built this company from nothing. I started in a small office with a single desk and a single dream. Now I employ thousands of people. I have offices in 3 countries. I have clients around the world. I built it because of her, because she believed in me, because she gave me hope, because she showed me that I was worth something. Gregory looked at me. His eyes were wide, his face was flushed, he was embarrassed, he was humiliated, he was shocked. He had spent years hiding me. He had spent years telling me I was an embarrassment. He had spent years making me feel small. And now the CEO of his company was telling him that I was the reason for his success, that I was the reason he had a job, that I was the reason he had a future. I've been searching for you for 20 years, Samuel said. I've tried everything. I've hired private investigators. I've searched online databases. I've looked through old school records. I've contacted everyone I could think of, but I couldn't find you. You changed your name after you got married. You disappeared. I thought I would never find you. I thought I had lost you forever. I didn't disappear, I said. I just got married. I had children. I stayed home. I lived a quiet life. I became invisible. A quiet life, Samuel said. You deserve more than a quiet life. You deserve to be celebrated. You deserve to be honored. You deserve to be recognized. You changed my life. You changed so many lives. I know I'm not the only one. I know there are others who you inspired. Others who you saved. Others who you gave hope to. Others who are successful because of you. The room was buzzing. People were whispering. People were staring. People were watching. The CEO of the company was standing in the middle of the ballroom, talking to the quiet woman in the corner, the woman no one had noticed, the woman everyone had ignored, the invisible woman, the woman who was suddenly visible. You see, Gregory said, he was trying to regain control. He was trying to reclaim his authority. My wife was a teacher. She was a teacher before she gave it up to raise our children. She was a teacher before she became a wife and mother. Samuel looked at him. His eyes were cold, hard. She gave it up. She didn't give it up. She sacrificed. She sacrificed everything for you, for your family. She gave up her career, her passion, her calling. She gave up everything so you could have your career. She gave up her identity so you could have yours. Gregory was silent. He had no response. He had no argument. He had no defense. Elena, Samuel said, I want to thank you. I want to thank you publicly. I want everyone here to know what you did for me, what you did for so many others. I want everyone to know who you really are. He walked to the stage. He picked up the microphone. He addressed the room. The room fell silent. Everyone turned to look at him. Ladies and gentlemen, he said, I want to introduce you to someone very special. Someone who changed my life, someone who saved my life, someone who believed in me when no one else did, someone who saw me when I was invisible. The room went silent. Everyone turned to look at me. I felt 1,000 eyes on me. I felt exposed. I felt vulnerable. I felt seen. This is Elena Vance, he said. She was my high school English teacher. She was the first person who ever believed in me. She was the first person who ever told me I could be someone. She was the first person who ever gave me hope. Without her, I would not be standing here today. Without her, this company would not exist. Without her, I would not be alive. I owe everything to this woman, everything. The room erupted in applause. People were clapping, people were cheering. People were looking at me like I was someone, like I was important, like I mattered. I stood there, frozen. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I had been invisible for so long that I had forgotten what it felt like to be seen. I had been ignored for so long that I had forgotten what it felt like to be acknowledged. I had been forgotten for so long that I had forgotten what it felt like to be remembered. Gregory was standing beside me. He was pale, he was uncomfortable, he was embarrassed, he was humiliated, he was angry, he was livid, he was fuming. He had spent years hiding me. He had spent years telling me I was an embarrassment. He had spent years making me feel small. And now, the CEO of his company was telling everyone that I was the reason for his success. That I was the reason he had a job. That I was the reason he had a future. The rest of the night was a blur. People came up to me. People shook my hand. People thanked me. People told me I was an inspiration. People told me I was a hero. People told me I had changed their lives. People told me I had given them hope. I didn't feel like a hero. I didn't feel like an inspiration. I felt like a fraud. I felt like the same invisible woman I had always been. I felt like I had been pretending for so long that I had forgotten who I really was. But something was different, something had changed. I had been seen, I had been acknowledged, I had been recognized, I had been remembered. And that changed everything. Samuel found me later that night. He was still emotional, he was still grateful, he was still searching for words, he was still trying to process the moment. "I can't believe I found you," he said. "I've been looking for you for so long. I wanted to thank you. I wanted to tell you what you meant to me. I wanted to tell you what you did for me. I wanted to tell you that I am who I am because of you." "Samuel, you don't have to thank me. I was just doing my job. I was just being a teacher. I was just doing what any teacher would do." "You were more than a teacher. You were a lifeline. You were a savior. You were everything. You were the first person who ever made me feel like I mattered. You were the first person who ever made me feel like I was worth something. You were the first person who ever made me feel like I had a future." I started to cry. I couldn't help it. I had been invisible for so long that I had forgotten what it felt like to be seen. I had been ignored for so long that I had forgotten what it felt like to be acknowledged. I had been forgotten for so long that I had forgotten what it felt like to be remembered. "Thank you," I said. "Thank you for remembering me. Thank you for finding me. Thank you for making me feel like I matter. Thank you for seeing me when everyone else has looked right through me." He hugged me, I hugged him back. He was the first person in years who had made me feel like I was someone, like I was important, like I mattered, like I was not just a wife or a mother or a housekeeper, like I was a person. A real person, a person with value, a person with worth. After the gala, Gregory and I drove home in silence. He didn't speak, he didn't look at me. He just drove, staring straight ahead, gripping the steering wheel. His jaw was clenched, his knuckles were white, he was fuming, he was livid, he was humiliated. When we got home, he turned to me. His face was hard, his voice was cold, there was no warmth in his eyes, there was no love, there was only anger. "I can't believe you did that," he said. "Did what?" "You embarrassed me, in front of everyone. You made me look like a fool. You made me look like I didn't know who you were. You made me look like I had been hiding something. You made me look like a liar." "I embarrassed you. I didn't do anything. I just stood there. I just listened. I just answered his questions. I just accepted his gratitude." "You could have told me. You could have warned me. You could have said something. You could have prepared me. You could have given me some warning." "Said what? That I was a teacher, that I had students, that I had a life before you. You knew all of that, Gregory. You just didn't care. You never cared. You never wanted to know. You never asked. You were too busy being ashamed of me. You could have told me that you knew the CEO. You could have told me that he was your former student. You could have told me that you had a connection to the most powerful man in the company." "I didn't know he was the CEO. I didn't know who he was. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. How was I supposed to know? How was I supposed to remember? I was invisible to you. I was invisible to everyone. How was I supposed to know that I had become visible to him? You could have figured it out. You could have put two and two together. You could have been more careful. You could have been more prepared. You could have been more aware." I stared at him. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I couldn't believe the words coming out of his mouth. I couldn't believe that after everything, after all the years of sacrifice, after all the years of invisibility, this was what he was worried about. His reputation, his image, his pride. Gregory, I said, for 25 years I have supported you, I have raised your children, I have kept your home, I have made every sacrifice, I have given up every dream, I have pushed aside every ambition. I have sacrificed everything for you, and you have treated me like an embarrassment, you have hidden me. You have ignored me, you have made me feel like nothing. You have made me feel like I don't exist. And now, because someone finally saw me, you're angry. You're angry that I was recognized. You're angry that someone appreciated me. You're angry that someone remembered me. He didn't answer, he just stared at me with cold eyes. He had nothing to say, he had no defense, he had no excuse. I'm done, I said, I'm done being invisible. I'm done being ignored, I'm done being treated like I don't matter. I'm done being the wife you're ashamed of. I'm done being the woman you hide, I'm done with you. I walked out of the room, I walked to the bedroom. I packed a bag, I packed the essentials. I packed the things I couldn't live without, I packed the memories. I packed the photographs. I packed the poems that Samuel had written. I walked out of the house, I didn't look back. I stayed with my sister for a few weeks. I was lost, I was confused. I was trying to figure out my life. I was trying to figure out who I was without Gregory. I was trying to figure out who I was without being a wife. I was trying to figure out who I was without being invisible. Then I got a call, it was Samuel. He had heard about my separation. He had heard that I was struggling. He wanted to help, he wanted to give me a second chance, he wanted to give me a new purpose. Elena, he said, I want to offer you a job, I want you to come work for me, I want you to be the head of our new educational foundation. I want you to help other students, other kids who are struggling, other kids who need someone to believe in them, other kids who are invisible, other kids who need to be seen. Samuel, I haven't worked in years. I don't have any experience, I don't have any qualifications. I don't have any skills, I don't have anything to offer. You have more experience than anyone I know, you have more qualifications than anyone I know, you changed my life. You can change so many more lives. You have a gift, Elena, you have a calling, you have a purpose. Please, Elena, please say yes, please let me give you this chance. I said yes. I have been working at the foundation for 3 years now. I have helped hundreds of students. I have inspired countless young people. I have found my purpose, I have found my passion, I have found myself. I have helped students who were bullied, students who were broken, students who were lost, students who were invisible. I have given them hope, I have given them courage, I have given them a reason to keep going. I have been recognized, I have been honored, I have been celebrated, I have been seen. Gregory and I divorced. He is still the same, still cold, still distant, still ashamed of me, still ashamed of who I am. Still ashamed of who I was, but it doesn't matter anymore. I don't need his approval. I don't need his validation. I don't need his love. I have found something better. I have found myself. I am Elena Vance. I am 49 years old. I am a teacher. I am a mother. I am a woman who was invisible for too long. I am a woman who was finally seen. I am a woman who found her purpose. I am a woman who found her voice. My husband said I'd embarrass him. He told me to be quiet. He told me to smile, he told me to nod, he told me to disappear. Then his boss said, I've been searching for you for 20 years. And everything changed. End.